Assalamualaikum viewers, welcome to my channel Scan World. We scan information from all around the globe and present it to our customers. So, today I'm gonna talk about Imran Khan. Yes, Imran Khan, who is currently the Prime Minister of Pakistan and Chairman of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. He was a former cricketer and was born on November 25, 1952 in Lahore, Pakistan. Pakistani cricket player, politician, philanthropist and Prime Minister who became a national hero by leading Pakistan's national team to a Cricket World Cup victory in 1992 and later entered politics as a critic of government corruption in Pakistan. Imran Khan was born into an affluent Pashtun family in Lahore and was educated at elite schools in Pakistan and the United Kingdom, including the Royal Grammar School in Worcester and Keble College in Lahore. There were several accomplished cricket players in his family, including two elder cousins, Javed Barki and Majid Khan, who both served as captain of the Pakistani national team. Imran Khan played cricket in Pakistan and the United Kingdom in his teens and continued playing while studying philosophy, politics and economics at the University of Oxford. Khan played his first match for Pakistan's national team in 1971, but he did not take a permanent place on the team until after his graduation from Oxford in 1976. By the early 1980s, Khan had distinguished himself as an exceptional bowler and all-rounder, and he was named captain of the Pakistani team in 1982. Khan's athletic talent and good looks made him a celebrity in Pakistan and England, and his regular appearances at fashionable London nightclubs provide fodder for the British tabloid press. In 1992, Khan achieved his greatest athletic success when he led the Pakistani team to its first World Cup title, defeating England in the final. He retired that same year, having secured a reputation as one of the greatest players in history. After 1992, Khan remained in the public eye as a philanthropist. He experienced a religious awakening, embracing Sufi mysticism and shedding his earlier playboy image. In one of his philanthropic endeavors, Khan acted as a primary fundraiser for the Shaukat Khanum Memorial Cancer Hospital, a specialized cancer hospital in Lahore which opened in 1994. The hospital was named after Khan's mother, who had died of cancer in 1985. So viewers, now we will talk about how Imran Khan entered into politics. After his retirement from cricket, Khan became an outspoken critic of government mismanagement and corruption in Pakistan. He founded his own political party, which is named as Tehreek-e-Insaf Justice Movement in 1996. In national elections held the following year, the newly formed party won less than 1% of the vote and failed to win any seats in National Assembly. But it fared slightly better in the 2002 elections, winning a single seat that Khan filled. Khan maintained that vote rigging was to blame for his party's low voter totals. In October 2007, Khan was among a group of politicians who resigned from the National Assembly protesting press Pervez Musharraf's candidacy in the upcoming presidential election. In November, Khan was briefly imprisoned during a crackdown against critics of Musharraf, who had declared a state of emergency. Tehreek-e-Insaf condemned the state of emergency, which ended in mid-December, and boycotted the 2008 national elections to protest Musharraf's rule. In spite of Tehreek-e-Insaf's struggle in the election, Khan's populist position found support, especially among young people. He continued his criticism of corruption and economic inequality in Pakistan and opposed the Pakistani government's cooperation with the United States in fighting militants near the Afghan border. He also launched broadsides against Pakistan's political and economic elites, whom he accused of being westernized and out of touch with Pakistan's religious and cultural norms. In the months leading up to the legislative elections scheduled for early 2013, Khan and his party drew large crowds at rallies and attracted the support of several veteran politicians from Pakistan's established parties. Further evidence of Khan's rising political fortunes came in the form of an opinion poll in 2012 that found him to be the most popular political figure in Pakistan. Just days before legislative elections in May 2013, Khan injured his head and back when he fell from a platform at a campaign rally. He appeared on television from his hospital bed hours later to make a final appeal to voters. The elections produced Tehreek-e-Insaf's highest total yet, but the party still won less than half the number of seats won by the Pakistan Muslim League Noon, led by Nawaz Sharif. Khan accused the PMLN rigging the election. After his calls for an investigation went unmet, he and other opposition leaders led 4 months of protest in late 2014 in order to pressure Sharif to step down. The protest failed to oust Sharif, but suspicions of corruption were amplified when the Panama Papers linked his family to offshore holdings. Khan organized a new set of protests in late 2016 but called them off at the last minute after the Supreme Court agreed to open an investigation. The investigation disqualified Sharif from holding public office in 2017, and he was forced to resign from office. Khan, meanwhile, was also revealed to have had offshore holdings but in a separate case was not disqualified by the Supreme Court. Elections were held the following year in July 2018. Khan ran on a platform of fighting corruption and poverty, even as he had to fight an accusation that he was too cozy with the military establishment. Tehreek-e-Insaf won a plurality of seats in the National Assembly, allowing Khan to seek a coalition with independent members of the parliament. He became Prime Minister on August 18. As Prime Minister, Imran Khan faced a mounting balance of payments crisis. Though the economy was experiencing growth, imports and debt commitments had skyrocketed in the years, especially because of the China-Pakistan Economic Door initiative. Just weeks into his term as Prime Minister, the crisis worsened when the United States withheld $300 million in promised military aid, saying Pakistan had not done enough to stem terrorism. Khan attempted to seek foreign aid from friendly countries first because a dozen previous packages from the International Monetary Fund had failed to solve Pakistan's macroeconomic problems. His avoidance of an IMF bailout reflected popular fatigue with the IMF, after he was unable to secure foreign aid on favorable conditions from other countries. However, Pakistan submitted a request for emergency lending from the IMF. He continued to seek foreign aid from other sources and later received promises of investment from China, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. Aside from quoting foreign aid, Khan oversaw several significant developments in Pakistan's foreign relations. The country successfully brought the Taliban to negotiation with the United States, improving relations with the country and with neighboring Afghanistan. In February 2019, in a show of force against militants in Kashmir, who had recently staged a suicide attack killing 40 Indian security personnel, India launched an air assault in Pakistan for the first time in 5 decades, raising fears of a new conflict between the two countries. Pakistan downplayed the impact and appeared to avoid escalating the situation. When India again entered Pakistan's airspace, Pakistan shot down 2 fighter jets and captured a pilot, but returned the pilot to India soon afterward. After the incident, Khan implemented a crackdown on militants, issuing arrests, closing a large number of religious schools, and promising to update existing law to reflect international standards. Let's talk about Imran Khan's married life. Imran Khan, Prime Minister of Pakistan, is a kind of personality that is studded with contrast and contradictions. The sordid story from his cricket days to his being in the saddle of Prime Minister of Pakistan is no less stupefying. Playboy image. In his young age, while pursuing his education abroad, Imran Khan developed a reputation as something of an aristocratic playboy who chased supermodels around London nightclub circuit and posed lounging on a bed in nothing but a pair of satin shorts. Khan was a bachelor for the next 42 years of his life. In the next 23 years, he married thrice. Imran, then 42, first married in 1995 the British socialist Jemima Goldsmith, who converted to Islam. Then 21, that ended in divorce after 9 years in 2004. Jemima hated the shallowness of Western life and longed for a more meaningful existence. She married Imran and felt that in him she had met her soulmate. But ultimately got disillusioned and the relationship ended in divorce. The marriage with his second wife, Reham, a British TV presenter, ended in 2015, just after 10 months. It thus lasted as long as a commercial break. Reham has written about Imran's sexual encounters with many women and his cocaine addiction. Imran married his spiritual guide, then known as Bushra Watu, in a traditional Islamic ceremony during which the bride was shrouded head to toe in Wales. There were many reports by various media houses that Bushra Bibi married Imran Khan after she had a dream. The rumor said that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, had asked her to marry Imran for the betterment of his life and the country's condition. Khan, who is believed to be superstitious, married Bushra Bibi, the mother of 5, who is known as Pirni, a title used in Sunni Barelvi Islam for a woman's spiritual guide. Men are called Pirs. Imran has been quoted by reports as saying that the marriage was more about spiritual connection than physical attraction. People in Pakistan talk of mysterious supernatural activities in Imran's residential complex, something that Khan's wife is known to believe in and take part in. In his first address in 2018, after counting started, after the elections and results started pouring in, Imran Khan, seemingly spellbound by his spiritual wife, became more traditionalist and spoke about making Pakistan like 7th century Medina. Ironically, with each marriage, while the woman successfully turned out to be more conservative than the previous one or previous ones, Imran Khan turned out to be more orthodox, while his first wife Jemima Goldsmith used to keep her head and hair open. His second wife Reham Khan partially covered them with a dupatta, while his present wife Bushra Bibi generally maintains parda or remain in hijab or burqa and does not reveal even her face. Some journalists allege that as Imran's spouse became more conservative than the previous one, Imran Khan's political and ideological views also became more retrogressive. In his youth, he is said to have dated several women around the world, including Bollywood star and at least one from Hollywood, Goldie Hawn reportedly. If we talk about Imran Khan's children, so Imran Khan has 2 sons, named Qasim and Sulaiman, from his first wife, Jemima Goldsmith. They both often come to Pakistan to meet their father and also stay here for several days. Now, let's talk about controversies of Imran Khan. On August 1, 2017, Aisha Gulalai alleged Imran Khan of harassing her and claimed that she had been receiving offensive messages from him since October 2013. Later on, Aisha Gulalai stated that she'll forgive him if he apologizes. Now, let's talk about Imran Khan's literary work. Imran Khan has published 6 non-fiction works including his autobiography, co-written with Patrick Murphy. These include West and East 1975, Imran, the autobiography of Imran Khan, 1983, Imran Khan's cricket skills 1989, Indus Journey, a personal view of Pakistan 1991, All-round view 1992, Warrior Race, a journey through the land of the tribal Pathans 1993, Pakistan, a personal history 2011. Imran Khan, the 22nd Prime Minister of Pakistan, despite having a controversial life, from ball tampering to marrying several girls, is an inspiration to many. He has taught his bowling techniques to the cricketer duo and has created history in his cricket as well as in his political career on several occasions. He believes in peaceful ways to deal with the hardest situation. He invited militants for dialogue to stop the terrorism in Pakistan. So, this was video for today. I hope you like it. Subscribe my channel and also press the black bell icon. Meet you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.